Hello and welcome to Views from Sibos. I'm John Beck, the Banker's Trading and Technology Editor, and I'm joined today by Carole Berndt, Head of Global Treasury Solutions for EMEA with Bank of America Merrill Lynch. So Carole, the atmosphere so far I think has been reasonably subdued. I wasn't sure whether it was optimism, resignation, or perhaps just a low turnout. So what's your take on the conference so far and the big themes?
It's been really interesting. Today is really quite buzzy, but yesterday it was very, very different. I think what we saw was some hesitation and nervousness in the participants around what's happening outside of these walls. Even though we're here in Toronto, everybody very clearly has the European crisis on their mind, and of course the increasing regulatory environment is causing us all to think.
Sure. So how are the kind of banks dealing with that?
You know, very different approaches. Some are becoming very inward focused, some are becoming very bullish and competitive in their stance. I think the successful banks, the ones that emerge out of this successfully, are those that are focusing on collaboration. As we look at what's happening in the markets today, particularly in Europe, our ability to work with the other banks, to influence the legislation, and to produce solutions that meet the new challenges is increasingly important. So I think the key to success is absolutely collaboration.
So the pressures behind that just the need to deal with a kind of tough competitive landscape and regulation, or it's kind of globalization must play into that as well to an extent?
Globalization certainly, but the smart companies have a very client-centered focus. So if we think about what our clients need from us today, be they corporates or FIs, it's about breadth and it's about depth. And we provide that only by partnering with great organizations. For Bank of America Merrill Lynch, it's very much about taking our global breadth and partnering with very strong local organizations.
Sure. So you mentioned the Eurozone crisis earlier, and even though we're in Toronto, that's been a pretty big concern for just about everyone here. I mean, what kind of worries are people voicing at the moment?
Look, I think at every bar and every dinner table the past 2 days, the conversation has certainly been about the Euro crisis. You know, a week ago we were all very, very nervous, but that nervousness has dialed back a bit with France and Germany saying that they think that Greece will survive. That said, however, we are faced with two difficult choices. You know, the stability and the continuation of the euro and a common fiscal policy. Both almost unpalatable solutions. We'll end up somewhere in between, but everybody here is talking, watching and waiting to see what that outcome will be.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that one.
Absolutely.
So Carole, thank you very much for taking the time to talk, and you can catch up with the rest of our Sibos coverage at thebanker.com.